there, welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen video, only this one's going to be really interesting. Because it's not just me. I've invited my good friend Janice to be with me here today. And there is Janice, and thank you for being here, Janice, for being on Inkquiring Minds. I gave Janice a topic, basically, a pen and a topic a couple of months ago. I asked her to try out the Tom Studio Lumos Mini that Tom Oddo of Goldspot Pens sent me. Thank you, Tom, very much for that. But not being a sketch artist or someone that uses Fineliners and stuff like that, I really had no way of judging the pen because I have no experience with that kind of use other than in my profession. And I use technical pens. I never use felt liners. So I asked my good friend Janice to try out that pen for a month or two, and she's done that studiously. And thank you for that. And she's done some interesting sketches. I'm going to show some of her sketches in this video with her permission. But I've asked her here today, we can talk about the pen and talk about her use of it and talk about likes and dislikes, what works, what doesn't work. And she's going to demonstrate for me at the overhead camera here. I've set up 3 pens. 2 of them are Janice's and 1 of them is from Tom Oddo. So the little green one there is the Lumos Mini. And that's the one that Tom sent me with some ink. And rather confused about the models of different pens because they seem to have changed. Now you got the original one, which was called just the Lumos, right? And that's the green one, the light green one?
This mint green, yeah.
Yeah, that one right there is the Lumos that it first came out. And you bought that. How much was it? I don't remember.
It was about 130, I believe.
About 130 Canadian?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's just one long aluminum tube. The newer ones are separable in half. So the knurled top comes off. And you can replace the nibs. I mean, that's the idea, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so there's a little plastic dinghy.
Slide that on there.
Little
and
plastic
twist.
dingus, yeah, to unscrew that. And yeah, unscrew it. I think there's probably ink in there, right?
Probably. I haven't played with this for quite a while. I like the very fine lines.
Right.
Yeah, so you can just use that.
So you can take that system
and pull this out.
And pull that out.
This becomes a bit trickier because it's inked.
Right.
So now it's slippery.
Right.
And I can't get that off.
Okay. But that's the original one. And then they came out with, I don't know which came first.
The Duo.
That one you got is called the Duo, the raspberry color. And it is basically 2 Lumos Minis almost together.
Yes. Yeah, you
can separate them in the middle. And you've got 2 nibs.
So you can either flip that around,
yeah,
or then you put that aside and take this one off,
right,
and then you have the other one,
right,
and then you can screw that on to that.
Yeah, and so you have a double-ended pen basically.
Basically, yeah.
When you use that one, you put a thick nib in one side and a thin in the other.
Yes.
Or different colors.
I don't know if you can do that because I think they share the wick.
Oh, do they share the wick?
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. You'll notice what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
You're no stranger to inky fingers.
I always have inky fingers. People wonder what's wrong with my hands.
Now the Mini, the green one, does it fit on the Duo?
Oh, I've never tried that.
Neither have I.
I don't think I ever thought about that. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Got to get the right one. Oh, look at that. How groovy is that now?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So I also noticed on the website yesterday they have some ones that are, but also painted with different designs, and you can mix and match the Duo, so you get different colors on different sides and different patterns.
Well,
so that looks interesting too.
Yeah, I'm not my thing.
But the Mini, it goes for about $80, $90, something like that, US. And the Lumos Pro is like $180 because there's 2 pens basically in there.
Yeah.
When you're filling it, this is a capillary filler. It's very much like the old Parker 61. You used to take the Parker 61 apart and dunk it in the ink, and it would suck up ink by itself. But it has the same kind of filler on it. So she's going to take this one apart.
I'm going to try.
I took it apart this morning.
Oh, so it works.
And there is ink in it.
There you go.
So that is the wick,
yes.
basically, that's attached.
So the it's plastic outside,
on the
but
outside.
Whatever fiber material is on the inside.
Some kind of a fiber on the inside, yeah. And when it's not inked, it looks white, right? The new ones look white.
Whitish, yeah.
Whitish, right. And you just got some wick replacements.
Yes, I had to order the in specially because the shop here that actually sells the Lumos doesn't keep them in stock. Right. And apparently I was part of a long list of people who ordered them in. We had to wait quite a while.
And were they very expensive?
Oh, very cheap. Yeah. I think under $5, and you got, depending on whether you get the mini or the original, you got either 5 or 4 wicks.
Oh, well, yeah. And it makes sense to have that many wicks because when you're cleaning it, for example, how do you clean it? Do you rinse it just under the tap?
Pretty much.
You have to wait for it to dry before you can ink it again, right?
Yes, which is one of the drawbacks.
Right.
So having another extra wick so you can get right in there again is a great idea.
So that would be the idea. If you have 4 or 5 wicks standing by, you can clean one out, set it aside to dry.
And change colors.
You
know, which I like to do all the time. So.
Right. Oh, and I wanted to show the little pack of wicks that you have there that came with it.
This is the one that came with the mini.
Right.
Which is much better than the original pack. It's much more condensed. And you can, is that good?
Yeah.
And you can read, like you can see the sizes. They're pretty obvious. The original one was a sheet with just cutouts, and then which is why when I gave them to you, I put them in little individual bags like this, so that I wouldn't lose them.
Yeah. But that would be they're so tiny.
They are. They're very fine.
Yeah. You've been using the mini that I gave you, plus you bought the Duo, and you already had the Lumos. And now it's October. I think I gave it to you in June.
It was the very beginning of June or end of May.
Yeah. And so you did a number of sketches and so forth, and you were using it almost exclusively for like a month, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And as a sketch artist, what was your experience?
Well, it works the same way as a fineliner does. You know, the feel on the paper is exactly the same. So I had no trouble using it. It's, again, pretty small. I gave you that little bit of tubing that in the beginning.
I've got it right here.
Yeah, to put on the end just to extend it. And
I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about my small hand. And I had to really get used to it because most of the time I hold my pens further back, so it's sticking into the...
Well, especially when you're sketching. You don't...
Well, yeah.
When you're writing, it's one thing, but when you're sketching, it's like you're back further on the brush.
Yeah, so I got this silly piece of aquarium tube and put it on the back for a while. I didn't do it forever, but at least it extended the pen. It was a silly idea, but it worked. And then after a while, I got used to it.
Well, if it works, it's not a silly idea, is it?
Well, it looks silly, I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's something that maybe Tom's studio would look at that and go, well, real artist, and I understand his wife is a real sketch artist.
My understanding, too,
maybe she would say, it's a little bit short to sketch with.
That's going to be an individual thing. But, if you put your hand next to mine, and you have bigger hands, and you know that...
My hands are medium. So
mine looks like a child's hand. You know what I mean? It's, so for someone like myself who has tiny hands, and a lot of the people I sketch with do, and others have giant hands, that's very individual. But, I mean, I don't post my pocket pens, fountain pens. I don't post them at all, any of them. Yeah. I had to post this one, and I had to add that little extender for at least for a while. It took me about half a month.
Just to get it up over your knuckle.
Yeah, right? Well, over that.
Yeah, that part of the web of your thumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because it is aluminum, and that's while it's finished, and it is finished, it's still after a while it's uncomfortable. Yeah. It starts wearing on your skin.
Yeah, that edge is not. It's not sharp, but it's not rounded either.
And it's hollow, so you're getting that edge. Yeah. So even though I know I can put my finger in there and not cut it, it's still
sharp
uncomfortable. Yeah. So I didn't that's why I used the little extender.
But with the Lumos, now you were sketching with that too.
Yes.
And how about that as an artist?
Well, it's a bit slippery. Like that's a very slippery tube.
Right.
And it took me a while, especially in June when the temperature started to rise. I kept having to put my hand back up. It would slide down.
Right.
So I wish that this bottom edge was knurled like the cap.
Right.
That would have been better.
So like an anchor point to keep your hand from sliding. Yeah.
Exactly. And the other thing, of course, is that sometimes I don't hold my pen down here. I'm holding it back here. And again, that now is overweighted toward my paper, which is frustrating. So as long as the weather was relatively cool, it was fine. But the moment you got any kind of heat, and you're sketching, like we always sketch for a couple of hours at a time, after a while, you don't mind the weight. You get used to that. Yeah. But it's the positioning on your hand. And that became a bit of a problem. And this, I didn't have to worry about this thing at the back because, again, it's not sharp. And both the Duo and the Lumos original are long enough. So that was, the comfort is really where you're sketching and when, because that is super slippery. I mean, that's just...
Yeah. So let's talk about demographic. Because the reason I went to you for this is because it's just not in my bailiwick at all. And so I wouldn't have any understanding of how it's being used, but that doesn't mean it isn't useful. So who is this designed for? Who would love this pen?
Well, primarily a sketch artist or possibly someone who does technical drawing.
Technical drawings,
because you have to have that super fine line.
So like a technical pen.
Yeah, like the old-fashioned technical pens, you have to have that super, wrong way.
Yeah, that's the cartridge.
Yeah, it's this is a very old set.
Yeah, that's a rapidograph, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And it's, you can see it, and I used to use the finer ones than this. They're presently being cleaned at home.
Yeah, me too. This is what I would ink drawing when I needed to ink a pencil drawing. And
this is before the Fineliners, that people use today. This happens to be Faber-Castell.
Yeah, right.
But so this was a predecessor to this.
Right.
And again, the difference being is that this has a kind of a felt tip. And it feels completely different on the paper.
Right.
Like the feeling is just so tactile. And you can feel the nib jump over, I use pretty rough papers.
Yeah.
And you can feel that felt tip just glide over the paper and skip over the bumps, so you're getting a line that's slightly broken.
Is that a good thing?
Oh, it's a great thing.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It sounds like that is a good thing.
Well, you get a really super expressive line that you can't get with a technical pen.
Yeah.
And yet it has the properties of a technical pen in that it doesn't splodge on the paper.
And you get a precise line.
Exactly.
And that's interesting because the evolution of technical pens to felt tip pens, there's good and bad, of course. The technical pens are great for precision. You can't draw or print with them. You can't even write with them. They're technical. You have to almost use them straight up and down because there's a little pin that goes down through.
Yeah.
And to get that precise width, 000 or whatever, across your page, you hold it straight up and down. In fact, there are devices you can get. So if you want to print, you screw it onto the technical pen and it allows you to write at your regular right angle.
I still have those.
It keeps the pen straight up and down.
Tells you how old I am.
Yeah, well, me too, right?
Right.
Hey, I go back to not technical pens, but
the mapping?
ruling pens.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yes.
The little clamp. I still got some.
Me too.
Oh, man.
But I never used them.
No, I never. They were a nightmare. Because I used to actually teach drafting. And I would have students, just for the experience, use a ruling pen on a project. So they'd draw it out in pencil and then have to ink it using the various line widths of a ruling pen. And there were so many accidents because you bring your ink over and it splodges on the page. Yes. This is permanent ink. You got to draw the whole thing all over again. So.
Which is the advantage of the Fineliner, is that you get a consistently fine line.
Yeah.
and you don't get that splodging you would get even sometimes with a fountain pen.
Yeah.
It just has that precision, which is really nice.
Now, the drawback of a fine liner is that you have a whole set there of the Faber-Castell.
Yes.
So you had all the different widths and so forth, and that's great. But once they're empty, you throw them out.
And that's the whole beauty of the Lumos.
I think that was probably some of the reasoning behind the Lumos from Tom's studio, is the idea that instead of throwing all that stuff away, you got a changeable tip and a permanent holder for that tip.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is ideal in the end. That's why I was very disappointed to hear that Copic was discontinuing theirs.
Right.
Because they've been out for years.
And the Copic is a replaceable nib?
Yes,
Yeah.
the old ones. But they phased them out. So
Right.
now if you want that sort of thing, this is the answer. But it has its own drawbacks, as we've discussed already.
Yeah. I'm going to interrupt my interview with Janice here because you mentioned the Copic Fineliner, Multiliner. And last night, while I was editing, she dropped off one that she picked up on Amazon. Here's the Amazon listing right here for this pen. And they come in multiple sizes, and it's an extruded aluminum body with a refillable cartridge and a replaceable tip. So here's the black cartridge that she picked up and a replaceable felt tip. And to take the cartridge out, you just simply pull on this end. And there's the cartridge. It's an ink-filled felt. And so you just push that right back in again, and it clicks. And then to remove the nib, they say to use a coin, but this is a very thin little slot right there. So I put my X-Acto blade in there and just push on the bottom of the blade. And there's the tip. And you can just push that right back in again. This one is 0.03 millimeters. Very, very fine. Very, very fine line. You can hardly see that. There we go. And here's a set on Amazon, which has the sizes 0.03, this one, 0.05, 0.1, 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.5, 0.7, and a brush. And you can get refills in multiple colors. And you can get sets in multiple colors as well. So this is kind of a solution to the disposable fine liner issue. But Janice mentioned these might be going away, or it's been discontinued or something. I'm not aware of anything about that, but I thought you'd be interested to see the Copic Multiliner solution.
But nonetheless, environmentally,
yeah, exactly. And
if you're willing to put the money in, then you have that problem solved.
Okay, and the fine liners too. You mentioned to me earlier that the fine liners, the felt tip wears out before the ink is gone.
Yes.
So that's another problem.
Yeah.
Now these fine liners, the replaceable tips that you've got right there,
yes,
they wear out too. They're just normal felt tips, right?
Well, they actually, I would say, wore out even a little faster. But again, I mean, I don't know if your camera will pick this up. I mean, I'm using watercolor paper, and I don't know if you can get the light and see that roughness.
Yeah, I think I can see it a little bit.
Yeah. It's hard on a felt tip pen.
There are lots of friction.
Yes, tremendous amount of friction.
So when you get a set like this, say the set that came with the Lumos, I'll put information up on my screen about all this, but about how much would that set cost?
I have no idea.
No?
No.
Okay, I'll find out from Lumos. They have it on their website.
They would,
all the different tip sets.
If this pen was just like another half-inch longer for me, and probably another inch for some of the other people I know, that's perfection.
Yeah.
It's small. It fits in any pocket, even some of the ones I wear.
It fit in this little pocket that you put in.
Yes, this little
cool thing,
makeup thing. Yeah.
It was a great solution. Put all the tips in the pen together. It all fits.
And you can carry it around and change them out. If you haven't put them in as hard as I have done, because if you want to change the tip, you have to first off take this brass thing. And there's lots of YouTube videos which I had to watch several times. Yeah. As simple as it is, I still had to watch them several times. And then
take that out.
But then okay, now we need, this is where the Kleenex comes in. Yeah. Because now this thing is inky. So you have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And if you have a thing about
Getting ink on your fingers.
Yeah.
Or paint
So you
on
can-
your fingers. You shouldn't be an artist.
true.
Yeah.
So now you can pull that tip out
Yeah.
and replace it.
I see.
And
And it sort of just fits into the center of that
yeah, because
fiber.
it's just that fiber, so there's nothing particularly technical about it.
So it kind of begs the question for me, as an outsider here, why not take that technology and combine it with the Lumos and make a Lumos that's made out of plastic? Yeah, I know, and not environmentally friendly, but I have plastic pens that are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. A Mont Blanc is $1,200 Canadian, and it's plastic. So we're going to keep those pens forever.
Well,
If you kept a plastic pen that had a refillable system, maybe like the absorbing felt kind of thing that they've got with the Lumos, maybe a cartridge, but replaceable tips. Mm-hmm. Then you could buy yourself a set that you can have multiple colors and multiple tips, and it would be there forever. You wouldn't have to do the replaceable thing like
and
the
that was
Faber-Castell.
and that was the Copic, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
why they're
I don't-
phasing it out, I don't know. Because that was, although the Copics were just a little bit more difficult to change the tip.
Right.
And than the Lumos, and that would be the thing to do. I don't know why they're phasing out the Copic one, because they were around for decades. Maybe people got too used to the simple version and
Right.
not having to work. Like you still have to work with this one. But
I
if you
thought, well, maybe what Hana Studio is doing is saying you have an aluminum tube like this. It's going to last forever.
oh yeah,
And they have them in brass as well, which would be even heavier. I just can't understand that. But still, that plastic Faber-Castell is going to last forever too. It might get banged up and stuff, but have you seen an artist's brush set? They get banged up, So I don't see that you need the durability as much as just you need something, a stable platform with interchangeable
oh yeah.
felts.
If you had a plastic version of this, like the Copics,
Yeah.
or this Lumos, if you change that wicking system, which is very easy to use, but still a little bit messy,
Yeah,
to a cartridge, then it wouldn't be hard to wash out the nib,
yeah.
change inks, and like you say, it would last forever, and the plastic pen would be that much lighter.
Right.
There's certainly durability in here because it's metal, but that would be great because having a preference for a pen that you're not constantly throwing away. So if you think about this, what is this? About, you said $89
Yeah,
US?
about $80, $90,
So
something like that.
100 and something Canadian,
Yeah.
which is something to think about. A lot of people go, "Oh, for a pen?"
Or a single one.
Yeah. Whereas this is about, well, that was $29.
Yeah.
But it's all throwaway, all of it. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and the big frustration among the art community is those nibs that wear out before the ink is
Before
gone.
the ink is gone.
Yeah.
You used it for a month. Did you go back to it?
No,
No.
actually,
Once your penance was done, it was gone.
it wasn't a penance. I don't want to disparage the pen in any way.
Okay, yeah.
It's to me, it's the first prototypes of a good design.
So it's pointing to the future.
Basically,
Yeah.
or the past, depending on where you're
True.
looking at.
Yeah, it's an evolution. Yeah.
And it would be good to see one, like you said, maybe made out of a durable plastic,
Yeah.
and maybe with a different filling system,
And in the $50 range.
and in the $50 range, which would also be nice.
Yeah.
We are talking about an individual producer, not a mass producer,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
So,
But I would think that an injection molded plastic version of this is milled, turned aluminum.
well, exactly.
So that manufacturing process is not cheap.
No.
I would think that injection molded plastic, like the Faber-Castell, is much cheaper to manufacture.
Yeah. So when you think you're buying this from an individual,
Yeah.
who's making these pens by hand, that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
you can see why the price.
A company like this.
I think it's rather expensive. The Lumos Pro, at $180, something like that, I think that's
Yeah.
really expensive. But at the same time, I understand that price.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Oh, yeah, I fully.
you know, he could charge $100 for that pen, he would lose money. Yeah,
Oh,
no
absolutely.
question. Yeah.
You know, a small enough company like that,
Yeah.
you know, you want to support them, but
Yeah.
you also have to take, you know, the various artists and people who you're pointing this at. Do they really want to spend that kind of money?
Yeah.
I'm guilty as charged, obviously, but it's it makes it for people who are not used to the fountain pen community, where pens are so costly, where you buy, you know, however many this is, 8 pens for $30.
Yeah.
It's quite a jump.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people found that shocking.
Yeah.
In my sketch group. So it's.
And you did pass this around your sketch group.
I tried.
Yeah.
Honestly, I tried.
Yeah.
A few people would make a few marks, and then they would hand it back.
Yeah.
And it's for those reasons I mentioned. It's slippery. We're often out in the sun, and you know your hands start to get sweaty, and it's just not comfortable anymore.
Right.
So they would go back to the easy option.
Well, not that, I mean, you got 2. Not that you need another one, but I don't need this one. And it was given to me by Tom, so I'm going to give it to you. You can keep that one because I will never use it again.
Well, thank you, Tom, via Doug.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice pen. There's nothing, you know, inherently wrong with the pen. It just needs that extra jump to make it popular.
Well, they're doing lots of new stuff. So, again, I'm not part of that community, but I've been watching the Tom Studio website and new models and new stuff. And so it looks like there's some growth happening there, which is good.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
we do want these small startup kind of pen companies to flourish.
Well, yeah, because you get that sort of innovative technology that larger companies don't necessarily need.
Yeah.
You know, but so this is a great little pen, but there are just a couple of things. And once Tom's Studio company is a little bigger and can innovate more, then go for it. I'm right behind you.
Right.
I mean, I already have now 3.
Now, you did mention that getting supplies, tips, and Wicks, you had to go through, was it Kensington here in Calgary?
No, it's Recess.
Recess.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
they're the only
stationery store?
It is, a very groovy. You have to visit. We have to go together.
I'll put a link up to their website.
They're very popular. Smaller than Reids, your favorite store, but very diverse. And there's always a lineup of people going through that store.
Recess, it sounds like they cater to teachers' supplies.
No.
Not that kind of Recess.
If you want your Tomoe River paper, go to Recess.
Oh, good news.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese stuff, but they're the only ones I know of who sell these pens, certainly in Calgary. And so they have the supply of inks as well, Tom Studio inks
but
as well.
But you had to order the Wicks.
Yeah, because they'd run out.
Yeah.
So they said when I came in, having specifically ordered them, when I came in, they had a whole list of people who wanted these things, everyone but me. Oh. Fortunately, they had extras, so I still got my Wicks.
Oh, good.
And that's where I bought these and where I bought my ink.
Right.
As well. So, and that's another thing. These pens come with, an ink sample, which is rather nice.
Yeah.
And I liked it so well on whatever paper I started with in the beginning, because I could draw and then I could wet it. I could take my brush and wet the outlines.
Right.
But the original line stayed there.
Right.
Yeah. And then I went back and did it again on a different paper, and that didn't happen. It washed right out.
Right.
But I went back and bought more because I was so impressed with the first one.
With the ink itself.
If only I could remember what paper I used.
Right. And he makes his own inks there for sale. Tom's Studio.
I honestly don't know if he makes them himself.
Or he
third
just party it.
And has put his own label on them.
Right.
He's got a few inks that are interesting. Colors, but ink is, hundreds of colors wherever you go. So he also makes his own permanent ink, which I don't have. Right. I haven't tried yet, but that's important because, of course, I add watercolor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice because to have all of these fine liners, all the commercial fine liners, use indelible ink, pigment ink, so that you can add watercolor on top, or use other inks, or whatever. And that's good to have a permanent ink. So the original Tom Studio ink is not permanent.
Right.
But I see that he's since made some permanent inks, and they'll work in these, which is great.
Well, any fountain pen ink will work in these pens, except for permanent document inks.
Oh, right? I've used document inks.
In the felt tip thing?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm sure in one of those.
Clean out?
Yes, they still wash out.
As long as you don't let it get dry.
It will eventually stain the wick, but it will clean out.
That's good to do.
Yeah.
I would have avoided that, because permanent ink
I
is
had to
permanent.
try it.
Try everything.
And I had my own, so I could experiment with my own. Right. There are a lot of really interesting document inks of different colors.
Right.
That are much more fun to draw with, especially on cream-colored papers, or white papers even. It's just...
The one you mentioned to me at the last pen club meeting was Diatramentus?
Yes.
I can never pronounce that.
I can do it now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yes.
Practice.
Plus we have the Roher and Klingner inks, the Write and Draw inks, the ones from Octopus Fluids.
Yep.
There's so many great ones. Even really old pen manufacturers, ink manufacturers, have their own permanent inks. These are old technical pens. Yeah. We'll use India ink.
That's an Indian ink.
Yeah. So.
And cleaning these things, I spent hours when I was a young man, spending hours cleaning out I use Stettler Mars sets, and you'd have to take them all apart, and it would take hours.
And getting that needle back into the right place, without bending it. Yes.
Well, when they worked, there was nothing else on the planet that worked like that.
But again, using those on my rough papers, they're not so great for that, unless you're using the bigger nibs, which I don't care for drawing with.
There were special tips of technical pens, both Rapidograph and Stettler, that you could get for drawing on film. For drawing and acetate and celluloid film, because it wears the tips down so much. So
and special ink as well. It's lots of different inks. But truthfully, like you said, we spent hours cleaning our pens. Even though I used mine every single day, it would take a long time to clean. And it was precious, especially if that needle was worrisome.
You bent that, and you need a whole new pen.
Whereas, so you don't do that with these new technical pens. Because that's what they call these now, are technical pens. I always kind of scoff. That's not a technical pen. No, really.
Murray showed me a set that he had of Rapidograph, and they were the old ruling pen, but they were the clamp style, flat, with all the different calligraphy type nibs. Whole set from like the 1920s.
I want to see that.
It was very, very cool.
All right.
You want to do a review of that? Not really. I don't know where to start. I wouldn't know where to start.
It would be fun maybe to, as a historic thing. A bit of history.
For the 20 people that remember how that works. Yeah. Oh, that's terrific. Well, I appreciate you doing all that homework for me for reviewing this pen. Tom sent me this pen, back in May, I think. And so I'm sure he's not waiting on this review, but I really appreciate the time and effort you put into doing this review and this sort of study of how the pens work with a variety of papers and so forth. Coming from someone who would actually use this type of technology, it means a lot to viewers. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for your time for doing this.
I was very honored that you asked.
Oh, well, terrific. And we'll edit this video as we can to edit out my silly bits and focus on the pens. But I hope everybody out there in YouTube land appreciated this. So I really appreciate Janice's expertise as an excellent Calgary sketch artist for doing this for me. And I think that's it. Thank you for your time.
I'm looking forward to seeing your inserts on this one. They're your signature inserts.
We'll see.
Wait, what are they doing? I don't know. They're just standing there like zombies. Do you think they're all right? But should we call an ambulance?
That is so creepy. Oh, they're setting up cutaways.
Oh my God, is that what we did back then?
Yeah, I mean, now we just, like, return text messages and screw around and whatnot.
Okay.
We'll see. It's always when I'm editing that I'll sit and think, okay, well, if something makes me think of something, and then I find a clip and I put it in. If it makes me laugh, I go, okay, that's going to stay. If it makes me laugh, there might be 2 or 3 other people out there that laugh too. And thank you all out there in YouTube land, Inkquiring minds out there, for joining us today in this free-form kind of review of the Tom Studio Lumos Mini. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel as well for only 99 cents a month. Bargain. And you'll get instant access to my videos the moment I post them, and you'll get cool emojis and badges and sneak peek videos as well. And that just leaves it for me to say thank you from me and thank you from her. And it's bye-bye from both of us. Bye-bye.
I made this.